When the announcement of the War Within and the entire World Soul Saga happened, everyone was hype. Oh yeah, also there's playable Earthen. Who is excited for that? Woo! I'll be honest, I wasn't excited either, but as I've played the expansion, I've realized that the world building surrounding the Earthen is actually pretty cool, with a few caveats I'll get into later in the video. But for now, let's delve right into their story. When we first reach the Isle of Dorn, our arrival isn't the smoothest entrance. And as we crash land on the continent and fight for our survival, we are introduced to the Storm Ward, the leader of the Earthen's military might.
To ground, my soldiers!
The edicts mandate that I defend the Coreway. I must return to Dornegal. We are out of time. Come, let us get you on a storm rook.
Sounds fine.
Nothing says aerodynamic like a man-shaped stone on a bird made of angry cloud. The Coreway. I have failed in my oath-sworn duty.
But wait, what is the Coreway? How did the Earthen get here? What are the Earthen? Let's go back in time a bit and figure that all out. The background of the Earthen starts like any other Titan-forged race. They are robotic servants made by the Titan Keepers to establish order on Azeroth. These Earthen were sent to Khazal Gar to construct and protect something called the Coreway. This is a long network of tunnels that delve deep into Azeroth's core. But like all of the Titan-forged races, the Earthen were afflicted by the Curse of Flesh, albeit in a unique way. When we look at the other races on Azeroth that were turned mortal, like the humans, dwarves, and gnomes, we see they are now skin-covered flesh bags from the old god Curse. But that just isn't the case for the Earthen. Despite being afflicted with the Curse of Flesh, they're still stoned as all hell. The explanation for this is actually revealed to us in the Dragonflight expansion in the revamped Old Man Dungeon and a random book which explains that the transformation of the Curse of Flesh can be really diverse. The most bizarre fact is that some of the Earthen turned into the dwarves that we all know and love who live in Khazmodan and the Eastern Kingdoms. And some others, like the Earthen in Khazal Gar, have retained their stony bodies, but given consciousness, and their culture has developed in an extremely similar manner to the normal dwarves, despite both of them never having any contact with each other. Both love to drink, both live in mountains, both call their lands Khaz, both have an affinity for rams and griffin-like beasts, and both have big, bushy beards. Yes, even the female Earthen have beards in biblically accurate Tolkien fashion. But the question is Dwarven culture some innate thing given to the Earthen by the Curse of Flesh? Maybe, but there could be other factors at play here, and the Titanic Watchers just don't have the full story. Maybe the black blood in the depths of Khazal Gar, Azeroth's world soul, or Beladar, or I don't know, something else has a play in all this? I don't know, man. I'm not a lore speculation channel, don't look at me! So back to us defending the city. We help repel the Nerubian attack. This is the first time the creatures have attacked for centuries, and during the assault, the Coreway was damaged, blocking the Earthen from traveling to the rest of the underground continent of Khazal Gar. Which is kind of a big deal, because the entire reason for a lot of the Earthen even existing is to carry forth the Titan's edicts of building and protecting the Coreway. We reconvene with the Earthen, who explain to us the existential crisis their society has been experiencing.
The Titans uplifted 4 wards: the Stone Ward, the Storm Ward, the Council Ward, and the High Speaker, to keep the edicts and build the Coreway and its fortress, Dornegal. But the Titans left, and the machines stopped. The Unbound abandoned the edicts, and the High Speaker retreated to the ringing deeps.
So the leadership of the Earthen is fractured, and at some point during the Earthen's history, their gods, the Titans, had left. Which, okay, that's fine, but wait, it gets worse. Every, Around, I don't know, 5,000 years or so, the Earthen need to recharge. They go to this place called the Awakening Machine to do it, but when an Earthen recharges, they lose all their memories. So in order to retain those memories, they extract them in something called a memory gem, upload it to another machine called the Archive, so then they can go and recharge, and go back to the Archive, and restore their memories. So there's two integral machines to Earthen society, and yeah, both of them are broken, presumably from the Sundering 10,000 years ago. And when we arrive to Dornagol, we try and figure out the details of this crisis the Earthen are currently in.
So, the Archive holds every Earthen's memories. Can you view them?
Yes, but it has been broken for millennia. That is why our numbers are dwindling, and Earthen's memories are erased upon recharging. Hence the need to upload our memory gems to the Archive with each charge cycle.
I should be writing this down. I'm standing here with a living relic. No offense.
I am not offended, but we are unfortunately in decline. Without a way to recharge, we will eventually all enter stasis.
When will that happen?
Sooner for some than others. In the next 10 centuries, we will all cease to function.
So let's summarize what's going on here. The Earthen have been cursed with free will, their gods have left them, some of their leaders have given up in performing their duties, and the machines built to maintain their continued survival are broken. Not to mention that far back in Earthen history, Watcher Dorn, the Watcher that was sent to babysit the Earthen, was kind of a jerk that made them fight each other to the death in pursuit of efficiency. And also, oh yeah, sometimes when an Earthen's directive was completed, they'd just send them back to the Awakening Machine to be unawakened.
Your directive is nothing! You serve zero purpose! You should deactivate yourself now!
So yeah, the Earthen eventually led an uprising and just killed Watcher Dorn. All in all, it has never looked, and it's currently not looking good for the Earthen. But despite all of this, the Oath-sworn Earthen are continuing their directives given to them by their gods. But let me ask you this, if you were an Earthen who is cursed with free will, would you keep doing your mindless directives for gods who have seemingly abandoned you? What about after 100 years? 1,000 years? 10,000? At a certain point, you might say, you know what? Fuck this masonry bullshit. I've been doing this for 10,000 years, and now that I'm not immortal, I want to start actually living my damn life. This is exactly what the Unbound did and abandoned their directives given to them by the Titans. Many of these Unbound are the Stonebound, the former builders of Dornagol, and left to live on the remote edges of the Isle of Dorn, and are consciously trying to ignore the programming that still lingers within them.
Communication in... sorry. Hello?
The Unbound really are the chillest dudes in all of the War Within. Instead of continuing their boring Titan directives, they're doing what they want, when they want. They're raising rock-covered mossy sheep, partaking in pottery, enjoying nature, and making molten mead from elemental fire bees, in a particular love for Russian-inspired disco dancing styles. Oathsworn and the Unbound are very broad categorizations of Earthen, but there are many smaller designated groups of Earthen too, like the Artisans, Peacekeepers, Stormriders, Freysworn, the Archivists, but arguably the most important are the Machine Speakers. Meanwhile, deep below the earth in the ringing deeps, the Machine Speakers are panicking. The Speakers' edicts are to generate energy, harvest material, and most importantly, maintain the Titan machines, meaning that all of Earthen society is relying on them to find a solution to fix the Archive and the Awakening Machine. And so far, they haven't been successful. They've made sure it was plugged in, turned it on and off multiple times, they've updated their drives, they've looked for a solution on a Reddit thread from 8 years ago, and sent a help ticket to the Titans, and by Norgadon's nipple hair, we need to find a solution to this before it's too late. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and the arrogant High Speaker has begun to meddle with dark influences to restore the machines and secure a powerful, yet corrupted future for the Earthen. So players have to work with the Oathsworn and the Unbound and the Machine Speakers and reunite Earthen society, repair the core way, and figure out a solution to fixing their machines before it's too late. Spoilers here, but of course, yes, we reactivate the Awakening Machine, meaning that all the Earthen can recharge and also pull new ones out of stasis. And by the end of the main questline, Earthen society is reunited with a perspective shift of everyone doing the directives that they want to do. And they're all just called the Unbound Earthen now. And like I said, I love the world building Blizzard has done with the Earthen. You know, the Curse of Flesh is such an integral part to Warcraft's lore. I mean, I think I mention it in some sort of capacity every other video. And the story of the Earthen gives us such a good insight on what the transition from Titan creation to living being looks like. Obviously, the Earthen did not turn to flesh, but we can see the fracturing of their society as they deal with this new paradigm. There's so much attention to detail put into little facets of their lore. The Earthen are rocks, so their idea of relaxation involves soaking in baths and beds of heated burning coals. They can eat rocks and gems, which change their physical appearance. When they die, they just turn into a giant pile of rubble. In their inn, they have traditional beds, but they're only used by guests, and they have cats all around their towns which help clear them of mice, which is pretty cute. There's also some great side quests dealing with their decaying memory too. There's one on the Isle of Dorn where you help an Earthen who is losing his memory, and you help him get to his final resting place where he enters stasis, and it's really, really sad. My favorite involves an Earthen in the Ringing Deeps, whose edict is to remember the history of his fellow Earthen and recite it back to them when their memory starts to fade. And he's so devoted to his job that he intentionally lives a life without his own experiences so he can save space in his memory for others. And purely from a world-building perspective, they have done a great job with the Earthen, and have written some dope-ass lore that could easily be slotted into Warcraft's pre-existing universe. But what are some things I don't like about them? Well, the Earthen don't have Dwarven accents, which makes sense, I guess, and instead they have these really flat, plain voices, which isn't entirely bad, but I do feel like they can be a bit of a hit or miss sometimes.
Our fans cheer for us, General Audemars. We are the Ward's top generals.
Also, the archive, the place where all Earthen society uploads their memories, you know, you'd think it would be bigger than a closet with some fancy filing cabinets filled with memory gems. And lastly, the biggest problem I have with the Earthen is that because they are a new playable race, they will be available to Alliance and Horde. And just from a fundamental standpoint of the Warcraft universe, the concept of a dwarf walking around Orgrimmar makes me die a little inside. Look, I understand it makes sense lore-wise if the Horde helps in restoring their society, but quite frankly, I don't care. It's gross, and I'd much prefer if they were Alliance only or just really not playable at all. And as much as I appreciate their lore and the world building Blizzard has crafted, that doesn't mean I'm gonna play one personally. And if I'm gonna play a dwarf, I'm gonna play a normal one. So when I run up and I hit a mob, I go, yeah! And I anticipate the rest of the player base probably won't play an Earthen as a main character once the novelty of a new race wears off. And they'll have a pick rate that's very similar to Mechanomes. Nobody plays Mechanomes.
Excellent!